The way it's currently 5:20 and I'm considering staying awake. My boyfriend left to go spearfishing at 3:30 in the morning. And then I guess I just woke up because a mosquito was eating me. And I'm like, should I stay up or am I gonna go back to bed? Let's see. But let's take a peek at the sunrise. I slept for an hour more. Let's be real. Let's make the bed. Our bed sheets are not really sheets. Because my boyfriend gets too hot, so we can't have any cute sheets. We can just have stuff. And then we have an older dog, so she has some trouble controlling her bladder sometimes. So we need like a waterproof blankie and everything. Going from being an aesthetic girly to being a functional girly. Me to my bones, all alone. Now we could have been endgame, endgame. We could have been endgame, endgame. I had the great idea this morning to be like, oh, I'm gonna go outside to the park, hang in a hammock, work there. Anyone who's pregnant knows that those are just aspirations, especially third trimester. I got dressed, I ate breakfast, I had a phone call with my friend, and I'm tired. So now I'm just starting to do a little bit of work. Well, I have 2 meetings later with potential hirees. I don't know what the word is. For a project that I'm working on, which I'm really, really, really excited about, because I feel like I've been working on this project for a long time and somehow it just hasn't fully come to fruition yet. And I think that hiring someone to do some of the, I wouldn't say technical, but more like the detailed stuff where there needs to be like a shift in the process, or like uploading things and formatting and that kind of stuff, is really going to be helpful. So I have 2 calls for that to
interviews later, and I have something to get done before lunchtime, which is a project that I'm working on, like a short-term project for some assets for a client. I'm excited to kind of get into it. I'm also very tired, so I feel like this is just gonna be me doing a little bit of work and trying to keep my energy level up, and maybe taking a nap somewhere in between.
I need a matcha ASAP. Why is that so typical? And a new little outfit. I nearly died because I spilled my matcha. I feel like when the weather is a little bit better, the mood is better, everything just flows more. I'm a different person in the summertime, so. So nighttime is commencing. I've basically been working all day. I am pretty exhausted. One of the things that I noticed, like being pregnant, is that I just get tired, and more like, not like physically tired, mostly just really mentally tired, but also normal. I mean, you're growing a whole human being, so it makes sense. But I'm just feeling a little bit tired. Also, some days are just a little bit difficult with some clients, and I feel like whenever someone now is kind of emotionally just dumping, I feel like I really absorbed that energy. I don't think it was like that as much when I wasn't pregnant, but ever since I got pregnant, it's been like that, which is one of the main reasons why I feel like it's so important for me to focus on my own projects. And today I had like a call with someone I'm hiring in order to help me with a side business that I'm working on, which, let me actually quickly grab some things. So I made these journals like a year ago. So basically they look like that. This one and this one. The coloring is still off. I've had these for so long. It's crazy. They have like a little thing on the side and like quotes on the back and stuff. But this is something I have loved. Like, I loved creating these. I loved just putting my energy and effort into it. I feel like I love having beautiful things. I use them as like table books and stuff now around my house. And I love having things like these around. I love journaling. I love having a beautiful journal. So this is something that I became quite passionate about, but then I kind of put a hold on it because, I mean, I don't know, there were just some complications, life things happened and such, and I just never really made it happen. But I don't know, ever since I got pregnant, like, and I'm getting to the end of my pregnancy, I've really been thinking about how I want to diversify my income, how I want to do more things that are a lot more creative, and just my own, like my YouTube channel and like journals and content creation. And
I feel like since I started working in marketing like 5 years ago, it's been one of those things where you start doing the work and you just somehow never have the time to do your own projects, which is completely fine because that's my job, you know, this is like my full-time job. And for a long time, I was really okay with that. And now I'm getting to the point where I'm like, I want really specific clients and I want to make X amount of money in my marketing business. And then I also just want like the freedom to have as little or as many clients as I want, to have like my own creative projects. And I've really started to prioritize those. And that's what I'm doing with this project as well, and why I decided to hire out, because there's like one bit, like the formatting and stuff, which is something that I can definitely use help with, as well as the coloring, because this one, for instance, is gray. But it's supposed to be beige. So had a call with someone from Upwork, was so great. I think it's really going to be super helpful because she has a very like in-depth experience in like publishing and like graphic design for publishing and like formatting and all of that kind of stuff. And we had such a useful call. So I'm going to use that in order to kind of situate this, and I will take you guys with me on the journey as well, obviously, as I do this. These are print-on-demand journals, which I feel like that is ideal. I also have another project in the making that if you came from another video, which is my bikini video, then you know that that's another project, but I've postponed that for probably next year because I got pregnant and I really want to partake a lot in the marketing and like being a part and modeling the bikini or the bathing suit. And I didn't really want to hire that many models. I feel like I really like a very hands-on approach. I love content creation. So it would be so sad to not be able to do that. So I postponed that project and pushed it back to like, you know, probably next year. And then in the meantime, I feel like this is the perfect project to focus on, especially because it's print on demand. We don't have to keep any stock. We don't have to like, you know, ship things out and such. So I'm very excited about this, and I'm just happy that I'm getting to the point where I'm prioritizing my creative direction and my creative flow and my creative projects, and not so much other people's creative projects, I suppose, which there's a balance to be found there, I feel like. So that's what's happening for me right now. I feel like emotionally this is really going to be good for me, especially when I take a little bit of time off to be with a baby and such. I feel like this is one of the projects that I can definitely like focus on. So yeah, it's time to watch some Netflix Sweet Magnolias because I got overwhelmed and overstimulated by the interwebs and shopping. You look like it's so fun. Sometimes pregnancy just gets overwhelming, especially when I think it's very easy to feel lonely and overwhelmed. But I suppose it's all a part of the process. And it's not weird to feel overwhelmed because there's a literal being growing inside of your body. I'm gonna hug my partner when he comes home and go for lots of hugs and cuddles and love, because I think that's really what pregnancy seeks.
This is editing me from the future, coming to you because I felt like this vlog was just a little bit unfinished in the end, because surprise, surprise, we got engaged. And it felt like such an important part to share as well, because I feel like I really, on the same day that we got engaged, I was really going through it and having like a moment of like deep, intense emotion. And I feel like the engagement was a contrast to that, and it's all been like so crazy and so shocking, and like it was so beautiful. It was at home, it was just me, Luciano, and Chi-Chi, and I don't know, which I really love, because I feel like I'm so much more private than I guess a lot of people probably also would expect. It was such a perfect thing for us to just be at home and be together and have that moment. And I was so shocked, like in the recording of the video, like of our engagement, you can just see me like, I was like, what? Because basically story time is that my partner kind of tricked me, because we had been talking about getting engaged before, and it wasn't something that we were like unfamiliar with. It was just that he kind of made it seem like it was not going to happen anytime soon, because, you know, we're gonna have the baby and, you know, all of those things. So he was like, oh well, I guess we'll do it afterwards. And then whenever we would go like walk by a jewelry store or something, I'd be like, oh, that's a nice ring, and then he'd be like, oh yeah, but what if it's too expensive or something like this, and I'd be like, okay, but joke's on me, because he already bought a ring in like October of last year, which is so crazy. But yeah, it's so wild. I feel like, especially when you kind of come from a place of, and maybe some of you can relate to this, kind of like a place of not having many examples in your life of like what healthy love looks like, or like marriage and engagement and all of that kind of stuff, and like whatever that means, you know, for every individual, because I feel like it means something different for every single person. I was so shocked, because I feel like even though I like 100% knew that we would, I think there's always still a small part of you that's just, I don't know, like can't fathom. I feel like right now, I don't know, I really did process that happened, and I'm so, oh, she's just moving around. She's like, you're talking about my daddy and you getting engaged? But I'm so happy because, and so grateful, because I feel like I really found my person that I want to spend the rest of my life with, and that I want to be with, and that I want to be engaged to. And I think that one of the things that makes it so unreal is that I feel like all of these beautiful things are happening so simultaneously. Like, we met each other, and it kind of all just fell into place. And that, not to say that it's been easy or like, you know, anything like that, but it's been so beautiful to like learn together and to grow together and to have all these experiences. And now we're gonna have small baby, and it's just so wild, like how life can change in like a year, and how things that you wouldn't expect suddenly come into your life, and people that you wouldn't expect come into your life, and they just change your entire life. And
it's something purely magical, I would say. But yeah, that happened. I felt like this vlog needed like an alternate ending to kind of show the flip side of things as well, and to share with you guys, because I obviously wasn't filming at that time or really vlogging, and I was like, oh. Kind of just moved on to like vlogging more things, and this needed like a moment of recognition and like, yeah, just to be here with that and to share that with you guys, and also to share that for myself when I'm looking back at this like so many years later. Like I'm excited. I think that's why I love YouTube as well, because down the line, like, you have all these beautiful like memories and together moments, and it's just wonderful and beautiful and precious, like life, and all of these changing moments that become eternal, right, Chino? But yeah, I wanted to share that with you guys before I closed off this vlog, and I will see you in the next one, which is coming soon.